Let me show you something. This is an email that I received an hour ago. Okay? Burn in hell with your woo. Woo woo, essentially. That's in response to a email blast that I blasted out this past weekend gone. I had a flash sale. I want to make all my courses affordable. I keep seeing these synchronicities 2020 everywhere, and people keep mentioning 20s. I just put together a sale whereby which people could get things for $20 off of my site, right? I searched his email, looked into our case, me and this individual, because it's been years. I come to find it's been years since I've actually spoken to him. You see, he found his way on my list because he had booked a session with me. If you had booked a call with me or even been a part of any of the free courses that I give out, the experimental types of things that I do, and or have paid for a course, you end up on my list. And I expect every person that's on that list to be warm. The experiences I have with people are warm. They're good experiences. So when that came back, after looking at it and finding out that I have spoken to this individual 2 years ago, I felt even more concerned for what he was going through. So I called his phone number multiple times. He didn't answer. And I continued with more emails. I said, hey, it sounds like you're going through something. What's wrong? And obviously, nothing's come back. Probably blocked my email, or he's just going through something right now. And so that spurred me into making this video, spurred this whole thing along. You see, I want to tell you why I said those words to him. I want to tell you where it's coming from, because there's some semblance of this natural inclination to care about a person that's floating around within the New Age spiritual community. Shows up in, I believe, possibly Hinduism, but correct me if I'm wrong, which is to love people no matter what they say and or do to you, right? But why? A lot of people are like, why? How even? Why and how should I do that to somebody who's just keyed my car, sworn at me, cursed me? The hell? Why? People find it hard to get past their emotions to the effect by which they can even love an individual for the wrong that they've done. I want to tell you why. Do you remember being so small that your love was so pure between you and your best friend that when he or she said something out of line, you're like, hey, it's okay, man. What's up? Like, why are you saying that? It's all good. You know what I mean? You don't get offended by what they just said. You instantly go to, what's wrong with my friend? They can keep going and keep going, piling on insult after insult, and yet you're still like, hey, calm down, like, what's wrong? That is so genuine to you, and it's so genuine to people. And you mostly experience it when you're younger. You're less quick to reacting to verbal abuse. I found, especially recently, that tuning back into these core traits that we have will allow you to become your original, authentic self. And by being so, you can react back with love. And you're not trying to do this because somebody told you to, you know? You're not responding back to hatred with love because you saw it on a YouTube video or a guru told you to do it. You're doing it because you're settling back into who you are. It's like a remembrance. It's an emotional experience in that you feel like yourself again. It's like you've reverted back to an old template of emotional well-being, one whereby where you're concerned for the other individual. it's something I've noticed people have tuned out of. And I understand. I tuned out of it too at one point. You get treated in a certain way for so long, it just becomes automatic to fight violence with violence. What I'm asking you to do in this video is to sit there and remember moments where you've done that, where you've let somebody just kind of, okay, cool, what's wrong? Yeah? And if you can remember that enough, you too can behave in this way. It's so sought out in the New Age spiritual community and other spiritual communities too, to be unaffected by violence, whether it's verbal and or physical, and instead reach back out with compassion, react with compassion, and not a closed fist. Another example of this is, have you ever experienced moments within your life where someone smaller than you, it could be your partner, it could be a brother or sister, and they start hitting you because they're so mad, and you're like, hey, like, what's up, right? And there you go, it's right there. You're reaching from compassion, you're coming from a place of compassion as opposed to automatic violence. And usually people who are very secure with themselves and they're quite big and they know how to fight, if they're out drinking, I've seen this so many times, they're out drinking, maybe it's a pub crawl, and someone is drunk, they come up to them, they start swinging, and this big guy, he's secure in who he is and how to handle himself. He's not intimidated, so he goes, hey mate, what's wrong? And usually you buy him a beer or something, right? We have it. It's just in certain circumstances it comes out, and in other ones it doesn't, because again, we've gotten used to entraining ourselves into this reactive state. Now, only good can come from doing this. You stay intact. You stay positive. You stay good. A word doesn't come into your ear, nestle up in your mind, and then cause havoc throughout the day, distract you whilst you're trying to work. What did that guy say? What did this person say to me? That doesn't happen to you. You're just concerned because that's the emotion you led with first. It's so obvious. I find the obvious, the clean explanations, the original try it out.